So to get us going this morning, I'd like to introduce to Liz Walker. Liz, you may have seen her story appear in the Sydney Morning Herald, The Age, the Daily Mail, I believe as well, Liz, over the weekend. Liz is an accredited sexuality educator, professional speaker and managing director of Youth Wellbeing Project. As the creator of the whole person-centred sexuality education model and Body IQ and Relationship IQ programs, Liz provides proactive strategies for healthy sexual development to students, parents, counsellors and educators. Liz is regularly featured in media and speaks to thousands of young people every year, bringing a strong focus on deconstructing the messages of porn culture. As a lead influence in engaging parents, professionals and young people in Australia and New Zealand to talk about the impacts of porn, Liz's presentations are often described as engaging, confronting and inspiring. Thank you, Liz.
The Cyber Violence Against Women and Girls Report 2015 said the growing ubiquity of mobile devices means that those targeted or indirectly implicated are getting younger and younger, with children as young as 5 or 6 years of age now exposed to cyberbullying and online pornography, sometimes of the most extreme kind. In some contexts, online culture represents the worst form of gang violence. This is the world that our young people live in. And it's really difficult for anybody over the age of 25 to possibly imagine what it is like for children to grow up with internet pornography at the click of a button. Today you are going to hear some very confronting stories. And I challenge you to sit in that space of confrontation. I'm going to take you through some slides in a minute and I will give you due diligence and warning if you would like to close your eyes, because I do realise that what I will show you could potentially be a trigger. But at the same time, I make no apologies for showing these slides, because this is the reality of what our young people can find with one click of the button. Hardcore internet pornography has become the main educator. When I was 6 years old, I sat on a school bus and a young girl hopped on, she was not much older than me, and said, "Hey, can I show you something?" And she handed me this magazine and she was all excited. And in this magazine was page after page after page of film strip like images that just went one after the other of the most graphic form of pornography of that day in a magazine. Potentially there was stuff out on video that I hadn't accessed, but for a 6-year-old that shocked me into a place of, firstly, awareness of my sexuality. I felt everything from disgust to confusion to absolute sick in the stomach to arousal. And that one instance of seeing pornography on the school bus led my life down a trajectory that I would not have otherwise taken. From that point, I engaged in problem sexualised behaviours, what I now know is that, and sexually abusive behaviours towards other children. And throughout today, you will hear some of the presenters speak on those behaviours. It led me down a path of having first-time sex at the age of 12. Everything that I thought about myself and my sexuality stemmed from that one day. I sought out more pornography in magazines. It became a regular part of my developmental years, and the ensuing sexual relationships after that led me to an emotional deficit. By the end of my teen years, I turned to drugs and alcohol and had mental health issues as a result, and I pin it all back to that day. Now, not every child will respond to that, so please don't think that every child who sees internet pornography is going to take my journey, but that's the journey that I took. And, each child will respond differently, but I urge you, parents, educators, talk to children. And that's my children's book today, Not for Kids, is out there in the pavilion for you to take a look at, to do exactly that, to engage young people under the age of 10 to talk about the inevitable day when they will see internet pornography due to the ready accessibility. What is the impact on young eyes? I'm about to show you 2 slides that are the landing pages for 2 popular porn sites. And as I said before, I make no apologies. I have put little black boxes over the most obvious bits. I'll let your imagination do the rest. But the reality is, this is just the landing pages. So if you do not want to see these, please close your eyes. You're under no obligation to look. This is Pornhub. Landing page. This is YouPorn. Landing page. That is what children will see on the very first page. The next slide is even more confronting, and if sexual abuse has been part of your journey, I would potentially encourage you to keep your eyes closed, because within 3 clicks I found images such as these. And this is what we're talking about when one study found that physical aggression in pornography, such as gagging, is in 54% of scenes, choking in 27% of scenes, and slapping in 75% of scenes, is overwhelmingly directed at women. The reality is that whatever children are exposed to, they have to find a way to manage. They absorb, transform, reject, and imagine on the basis of experience or fragments of experience. Children were never meant to see hardcore internet pornography. And if that one experience when I was 6 years old had the impact that it did on my life, how much more is happening today with our young people who have open access to internet pornography? Thank you.